Hello. Hi everyone, my name is Anastasiia Lukianenko. I'm a software engineer at EPAM, and we work to make Xen applicable for automotive domain. Today I want to introduce the topic Clang-format for Xen coding style checking. Currently, Xen project doesn't have a tool that would help format the code in accordance with Xen coding standards. One of reasons for the creation of Xen-checker was the desire to make it easier for developers and reviewers to create new patches and simplify the review process. The Clang-format tool from LLVM project contains a lot of useful functionality and allows to configure the formatting file of many options. But this tool works quite strictly and basically allows to choose only one possible formatting option according to the existing rules. Because of this lack of flexibility, it would be correct to define new rules in Xen coding style documentation to avoid disagreements about them. Xen-checker history started in 2017 with Google Summer of Code project by software engineer Aishani Hu. Who used the Clang-format to validate the code for Xen style standards. The project did some basic work on setting up Clang-format file for Xen rules, but there was no detailed study of specific Xen cases in Clang-format tool. There was also no analysis about missing features to make formatting more accurate for Xen project. Subsequently, this work was abandoned, and further in 2018, software engineer Victor Mitin from EPAM began development of adding custom Xen style to Clang-format styles. Also, he tried to add new functionality to old Clang-format version, but that patches wasn't completely worked, and this work was abandoned too. In 2020, I started researching all the previous work, but those changes which were made by Victor already was in Clang-format new version. This version was 12.0, so I didn't use them, and for me, it was necessary to define a new configuration for the .clang-format file, and also I need to take into account new possible ways of formatting using new features. And during the research, I found that Clang-format doesn't format all the code unambiguously. So I made a decision to add new options and fix existing bugs in Clang-format. Xen coding style options can be split in 3 groups. First group is natively supported by Clang-format. Second group requiring some changes and new features in Clang-format, and third group that are not completely defined in Xen coding style documentation. So first, let's talk about Clang-format options that are already supported. So line length limitation, using whitespace characters to spread out logical statements. Also, this indentation by 1 extra level, placing braces, and C-style comment support. So we can see that Clangformat functionality covers most of described rules of Xen coding standards. Now let's talk about changes which were made to Clangformat. First of all, this is break before inline ISM colon configuration. This patch already accepted in Clangformat tool. Before it, the formatting was randomly because there was no option, and Clangformat just do it randomly, depends on string line, depends on string length, and etc. So this rule is not described now in Xen style documentation, but it's good to have this option because we can choose one of the variant and we will not have randomly formatted code. Second option is handling statement macro expressions in switch block. This patch now is under review. This is about fixing a bug where we can see that before my patch, the progress, which is macros, statement macros, it must be indented like case, keyword, but Clangformat doesn't see it properly, so it sees it like a line in case block. And after the patch, we see the good formatting, so it's just a fix for this tool, and it works, but we need to review it. Third option is before struct initialization parameter in brace wrapping flags option. This is not also covered in Xen documentation. We don't know exactly how we need to format code like first way or second way. Before my patch, it did it randomly, and this patch is under review because recently reviewers asked me to add also class to this patch, and it would be before struct class initialization parameter. So the idea is good for reviewers, but they want me to add a new class keyword too. This is links to upstreaming status. So also you can find discussion here about these options. The next is missing features. Some features of Xen style are absent in Clangformat functionality, so developer must pay attention to them by himself, or he can turn off the formatting on the certain code. For example, as we can see here, we can off Clangformat for this unformatted code, and then we on it, and the code will be formatted again. What features are missing? First is cannot omit brackets for blocks with a single statement. According to Xen style documentation, there must be no brackets at all, but Clangformat just add a new line for them, and Clangformat don't understand that he should delete them. So this is missing feature. Second one is if Clangformat C comment, Clangformat won't convert it to C style comment, and it will just do the right indentation maybe or something like that for C++ comment, but there will be no conversion. Third one is ISM part. It's not described in Xen style documentation, so I think it's better to just use Clangformat off option for these types of code because Clangformat doesn't know how to format these sections properly. At the beginning of my work on Xen-checker, I raised a discussion in the community to get an opinion on the undefined rules in Xen coding style. So the idea of creating a Xen-checker was supported, but some rules for formatting were not ambiguously approved. So let's see the rules and discussion. For example, first is space after tab conversion. So we see space here or no space here. So it was seems like a good change to me, good to have. So this option was approved. About function prototype, there were different opinions. For example, like both variants deemed like valid style, but I want to say that the choice of one option is required for Clang-format tool, so it's not so flexible that it understands only one properly variant. It's not allowed to use both options. So we can't leave sections of code like this to the author's taste. Also, it was discussion about a line escaped new lines option, as we can see here, and the line trailing comments. I think that the good advice was to add small note to the coding style to say that comments should be aligned where possible. So I think if Clang can do this, why not? Why we can add this note to the coding style rules, and then we have beautifully aligned comments, new lines options, etc. Also about space in declaration, like here about it, I see that these blanks are being suggested to get dropped. So if it's really was suggested to get dropped, then I think we can use this kind of option and remove them, and also add this rule to the Xen code style documentation. But as a result from all this discussion, I can see only that space after type convention rule only can be added to Xen code style documentation. Others were not accepted anonymously. Some options have been found recently during my testing the Clang-format, so they haven't been discussed yet, and I want you to think about them, what the variant you think correct, and what rule we can add to Xen style rules. For example, here this is line consecutive macros, and this is break before ternary operators. This works only when the line is bigger than the column limit. So this column will be on the same line like first value, or it will be on the second line with the second value. So this we can see here also. Another example. And initialization behavior is still ambiguous, but in some sections you can use Clang-format off if the result doesn't meet your expectations. For example, here Clang-format tool formatted these values into one line. In the second example, it didn't change anything, so it thinks that this is correct. And in third variant, it creates 3 lines from one line, one big line. So it's really weird here. I don't know what's like dependencies, but there are no options to choose in Clang-format configuration to control this behavior. And I prepared a demo how Clang-format can work, and what exactly comments we can use for formatting patches. But before it, I want to say about penalties in Clang-format. They allow you to adjust some controversial options. For example, they sort of prioritize formatting options when several mutually exclusive rules are imposed on one piece of code. When I tested the project, these presented values were shown the best results. So I left them in .Clang-format file, and also the repo with Clang-format file for Xen and my new patches you can find here by the link. And it was tested on Clang-format 13.0 version. Demo available by this link. I think I need to share my screen for showing it. I hope you... Okay, yes, you see the demo. This is a test file. Test file where I just comment what option will be formatted, and this code is unformatted. I launch Clang-format with -i parameter to apply its formatting rules to the file, and we can see the diff. All the options which I described during the presentation were formatted as expected. So it's aligning the comments, aligning prototypes before structural initialization option, and this space after type conversion. So all the patches, all the fixes works correctly. Can you please... thank you for attention. I'm ready for your questions. I see first question. Can you paste the GitHub link into chat? Yes, of course. First is for demo and second one for GitHub.
So is it the case to test this functionality, we would have to actually build all of LLVM?
We need to build Clang-format
Clang-format
binary, yes.
Right, okay.
And Clang-format has a parameter where you can specify the .Clang-format file, and you can use mine, which are already configured for Xen style, or you can play with different parameters and maybe choose some different options, or try to choose different penalties and work with it.
Okay, well, I was just wondering, like, if we wanted to just kind of give this a spin and test it out, how difficult it would be to just give it a try. So if to just try your thing would have to build the entire LLVM project, then obviously that's kind of a barrier. But if it's just having to build the one just Clang format, then that would make it a lot easier.
Yes, it's we can build only Clang-format for it.
Okay. Could you post some maybe like make a wiki page or something with instructions on how to fork your repository, build Clangformat, and then use it?
Yes, I can post all of these instructions in my repo with instructions how maybe to launch the Clang-format with what options and.
Right. Well, I mean, how instructions on how to build just Clangformat from
Yes.
your tree would be helpful as well. But yeah.
Okay. I will add it.
Okay. Thanks.
I see the question. Can you share Clang-format file I used? Yes, I think it's in my repo. I will check it now. Yes, the link is here for Clang-format file with options. You're welcome. Is there any questions? I will download today to my repo some instructions of how to use the Clang-format with different parameters with this file, and also how to build Clang-format from LLVM projects, how to download it, and how to use. You're welcome. I think that's all from my side. Goodbye.